Council, December 1st, 2014. The only business here tonight is to vote on two resolutions. The first one to adopt the 2015 budget and the 2015 capital improvement program budget for next year. There is no opportunity for citizens desiring to be heard at this meeting, and there's no new business. In light of that, we're going to do a roll call vote on both of these, and any councilman or councilwoman who wants to be heard can make any statement they want prior to their vote or right after their vote while they have the floor. And there'll be no time limit, of course, on your comments. Okay. Can we have the clerk call the roll, please?
Deputy Mayor Claxton.
Here.
Councilwoman McKenzie. Here. Councilman Rieger.
Here.
Councilwoman Calvin.
Here.
Councilman Torres.
Here.
Councilman Reddy.
Present.
Mayor Kennedy.
Present. Okay, there's no new business, so resolution number 1. Do we have someone to move this, move for the adoption of the 2015 city budget?
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt the 2015 operating budget for the City of Peekskill.
Second. On the question?
Pursuant to the Charter of the City of Peekskill, estimates of budget requirements for the year 2015 have been certified to the City Manager by the various departments, officers, agencies, and boards. The City Manager reviewed these estimates and provided us with a recommended budget on October 1st, 2014. Subsequent to a notice of a public hearing being published in the official newspaper, in compliance with the provision of the Charter, a public hearing was held on November 24th. The Council has reviewed the City Manager's recommended budget and has, with the assistance of the City Manager and the Comptroller, prepared a schedule of changes that are annexed hereto. Therefore, it is now resolved that the 2015 City Manager budget, as amended by the changes set forth in the schedule annexed, and hereby is adopted and declared to be the budget of the City of Peekskill for 2015. This budget is 2.2 includes a 2.2% increase in the tax rate, which remains under the cap, the New York State tax cap.
Any other comments before we go to the roll call vote? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Deputy Mayor Claxton.
Aye.
Councilwoman McKenzie. Yes. Councilman Rieger.
Yes.
Councilwoman Calvin.
Yes.
Councilman Torres.
I want to make a statement before I do the vote. I was elected to this council for a simple reason: to bring change to the way things are being done in City Hall. Unfortunately, this irresponsible budget is more of the same old song. Our citizens deserve better. Just a few weeks ago, our city bond rating was lowered by Moody's bond rating agency. This means it will cost our taxpayers more to pay the interest on the city debt that is growing year after year due to the past city councils approving deficit budgets after another. In good conscience, I cannot vote for this budget that will result in another deficit. Homeowners expect the city to deliver the essential services for the taxes they pay. They also expect those elected city councils to tell the truth. And the truth is that the city financial condition is a mess. And this budget is approved. If this budget is approved, this mess will get worse. No one wants to raise taxes. I know I don't. I would like to have a zero tax increase. But the facts are, this budget is being voted on here tonight does not balance. The fact is that the budget being voted on here tonight does not balance the Peekskill budget. We have results in deficit year after year for 7 years in a row. This will make it 8 years in a row if we vote on this tonight. Thank you. I'm going to vote now.
Okay, we have this vote.
Councilman Reddy.
I will also make a statement, and it's the statement I've been making for the last 2 months, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but I will just call everybody's attention to a simple fact. The city manager 2 months ago handed us an operating budget with $37.4 million in expenses. We disagreed with the city manager's tact in separating out garbage. I think we all agreed to that. But we included that back into the regular budget. What happened as we amended that budget, though, is that 37.4 million now became 35.8. And the $1.5 million that was cut in number only, and only on paper. So I would say that, in my opinion, it is not fully realized, and the city manager will be held to operating within this budget, which has not been the case in the last few years. So the cuts, could potentially have a detrimental effect on city services, on our bond rating, and the overall financial condition as we continue down this road of deficit. So I cannot in good conscience vote for this. I've made my statements over the last 2 months as to why. The city manager is going to have a tough job this year in meeting that $35.8 million expense budget. So he will be held to it, and the citizens will see what that will entail as opposed to the services that you're provided for that revenue, because we will not spend $2 to $3 million over that budget, and I think we spoke about that just a little while ago in our work session. So I will vote no.
I also have a statement. I cannot in good conscience vote to approve the budget that is before us tonight. I have over the past 2 months laid out the case that this budget and the variations that we have discussed are dishonest in that they neither pay for the expenses contained therein nor make the cuts necessary to actually pay for the services and programs that this budget provides for. The city is now on a solid 7-year record of structurally imbalanced budgets reflecting neither the courage nor the fortitude to either cut spending or raise revenues. That record has resulted in a staggering $18.5 million deficit over this period of time. Sadly, this budget, with its dishonest projections of revenues and underestimations of expenses, virtually guarantees that we will end 2015 as the 8th straight year of fiscal mismanagement and yet another deficit of $1.5 to possibly $3 million. Ironically, our income and expenses over the past several years have remained almost constant. In 2011, the city had a spending plan of $37.5 million, while only having income of $33.8. In 2012, the city had a spending plan of $37.2, while having income of only $33.9. In 2013, the city again had a spending plan of $37.2, with only income of $34.6. These numbers are remarkably consistent. The deficits were built into those budgets intentionally or unintentionally by prior councils and have, in my humble opinion, set the city on a dangerous, reckless, and irresponsible path that will only increase our financial stress score, risk our Moody's bond rating that has already been lowered twice in the past 2 years, and increases the likelihood of the appointment of a monitor by the New York State Comptroller's Office. I assumed office on a promise to restore fiscal health and integrity to the city, and this budget does neither. It continues virtually unabated the reckless policies of previous administrations without apparent awareness or regard for the dire situation that the city is in. So, it is with these facts in mind that I cannot vote to pass this budget, and very reluctantly will ask the city clerk to accept this written statement, fully written and signed by me, so that there's absolutely no doubt of where I stand, and advise those who have passed it that they will own this budget and the consequences that it will bring upon the city. I vote no. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
I would like to make one statement.
Oh, do we have a second resolution?
I would like to make a statement, though, that I do agree with you that if you disagree with this budget, you had two choices. You could raise taxes or you could cut costs. And no one put on the table any suggestion to cut costs. We did cut all of the positions that were added to the budget with the exception of the building inspector, which is revenue neutral. We did cut a number of other things. We did understand, finally, that you bond tax certs because they are legal issues, and you never know what the tax cert is going to be. We have already bonded $1.1 million for tax certs just 2 months ago. So again, you are correct. You can either raise your taxes or you can cut your costs. But you have not put on the table any suggestion to cut costs.
You're not serious about that.
Yeah, I am serious about that.
Because on the one hand, I thought you just said that we cut the garbage proposal that was over almost $2 million. We cut the chief information officer. We cut 4 or 5 positions that the city manager asked for. And we cut other areas that you just didn't specify, but you just said we made other cuts in the budget.
That's right.
So
We all did that.
this is not the time to debate. We did that for the
We
past
all
month.
did that, but your statement said that no one put cost cutting on the table, and I'm correcting that statement right here.
That
We
we
did put cost cutting on the table.
Okay.
If you believe that this is an unbalanced budget and you don't want to raise taxes, you could have offered additional cuts, and you did not. You are the mayor and the leader, and you did not.
I only have one vote here, and I'm not going to debate with you. We've debated this for 2 months.
Okay.
Everybody knows where we stand on this budget, and I think I'll call the question at this point. People have heard enough, and people have seen the vote. People know the numbers. You know the numbers. I know the numbers, and the tapes are there for people to see. They're readily available on the city's website. Okay. Do you have anybody to move